In May of 2018, the Earthspirit community gathered to celebrate the 40th annual Rites of Spring. At this important anniversary, we took time to reflect on our stories and our roots, time to explore how participation in this community and in the times that we come together have affected the lives of those who gather on the mountain each year.
I was invited to the first Rites of Spring by Andres. We had already been networking together through postal mail. It was before cyber communication was a thing. And I was so excited to be able to come and be part of this convergence of pagans from many paths in the greater Boston area and beyond. At that first Rite of Spring, we had a ceremonial circle that was lined with flowers. And there was a strong Wiccan influence, so we called on the great goddess and the great god. There were people from a number of different traditions, each sharing from their own perspective. It was social, it was spiritual, and it was innovative. I continued to be part of the Rites of Spring as it grew and developed in the 1980s. In 1983, the Rites of Spring was at a place known as Another Place. There were people from the local town that were convinced that we were not good for the community. And some of the young men in town came to Another Place intent on doing violence against the pagans. They were looking to pick a fight with the men at Rites of Spring. So we get word that these people are headed our way, and I was one of several women, Deirdre, myself, and several other women, just went and greeted them. I remember going, "Can we help you?" in a very pleasant, mannerly way. It was part of a process that helped disarm them. And when they just weren't ready to deal with women, encountering them and their anger and their fear. The good thing that came out of it is no one was harmed, it de-escalated things, and for the Earthspirit community and everybody taking part in the Rites of Spring that year, it was what I call a bonding experience. The Rites of Spring has become a kind of pagan institution, as well as the Earthspirit community. And it's really important that within the larger pagan world, there is continuity amongst people converging, that it becomes multi-generational. And clearly what I see here at Rites of Spring 40 is a convergence of diversity, even more diversity than at the very first Rites of Spring. There are people not only of many different parts of the country and around the world, but they're people of different ages. And I think that is such a healthy part of paganism today and paganism of tomorrow. Being able to see babes in arms, as well as people up in their senior years and everyone in between, joining together at community rituals, at the maypole, at the weaving of the web. It makes my heart glad to be part of this celebration and to see the thriving, not just the surviving, of paganism. One of my favorite traditions with the Rites of Spring is the maypole. And why I like the maypole is it's something that's ancient. Yes, the ribbons part of the maypole custom is probably only about 150 years old, but if you go back in American history, you read Nathaniel Hawthorne's twice told tales. You will find out about the maypole at Marymount, yes, in Massachusetts. People cavorted around the maypole, native people as well as people of English descent. There was not a great embracing of diversity by these Puritans that came to Massachusetts for their own religious freedom. They didn't really want to grant freedom of expression to others, it seems. And I'm happy that the maypole tradition itself, an ancient folk custom, is alive and well at the Rites of Spring. Being at the maypole at Rites of Spring 40 was fabulous. I got to see how the maypole tradition had evolved from a time where we wove the ribbons around, did chanting and celebration, to having the community come and share a meaning in their life in a community setting. Fabulous evolution of the maypole tradition as a whole, as well as the maypole tradition at Rites of Spring.